Hello and welcome back to Fat Gent. We have had 2 nights so far in Amnat Charoen. It's quite a small town in the northeast of Thailand in the Isan region. We flew out here on Sunday from Bangkok, and again, flight no hassle. We flew with Thai Smile at faultless service, absolutely very good. 55 minutes was the flight time total, straight into the airport, luggage waiting on us, faultless. So my wife's aunt picked us up and brought us to the hotel here. It's the hotel called the VIST Hotel in Amnat Charoen. There's not many hotel options, and I think most people sort of think VIST will stay there okay. So dead on hotel, nothing wrong with it. We haven't eaten in it. We have a couple of rooms here. They're big enough, shower, toilet, cracking size bed. The beds in Thailand are so comfortable. I like a firm bed, and they're rock hard here. The beds are very firm, very comfortable, and I always get a general good night's sleeps. Yesterday my wife was up early and she headed out to the market to buy some fresh produce for a family picnic barbecue out at the rice farm. So we all met there yesterday for a big lunch, and I must say it was superb, absolutely superb. I have some bits of photographs here. I'd asked my wife for some lime just to put on the prawns, and her mum went out to the tree. I just picked 2 or 3 limes off the tree and came in with them. They've chilli plants, chilli vines. I've never seen a chilli vine before growing up a tree. The big, I'll drop in the photograph here, a big holding pit of frogs. The biggest frogs I've ever seen in my life. Amazing looking things. Again, they're for food. You know, that's part of the diet out here. There was none cooked yesterday, but that's the food here. That's it. There's nothing. I like frog's legs done the French style. I don't like frog done the Thai style, which is basically rip its guts out and fire it in the barbecue. I don't like that. But a beautiful frog's legs done French style, fantastic. They've also got ponds here, which they're just dug out, and whenever the fields flood and the rivers rise, they naturally then trap fish, and these fish then are used again as a source of food throughout the year. Last time we were here and they were bringing out these, they looked like koi carp. They were goldfish, and just straight out onto the barbecue. They produced this catfish from it, must have been a metre long. It's a lucky dip. They throw in the nets, and whatever they catch, they catch. This is fairly indicative of this region. The centre houses with the fields around them, and they're basically self-sufficient. You know, they've got their chickens running about, the papaya trees, banana trees, aubergine trees, a fruit called the lam yai, which almost looks like a smooth lychee. Everything you can eat, it's all there. But obviously they go out to the markets to buy stuff. You know, that's, you know, why wouldn't you? But it's handy having that wee option there. If you need a few limes, nip out to the tree and pluck them. Here we have a rice field in the process of being planted. I dare say they're called bushels of rice. And they're bunches, and every single one of those then split into single stalks, and they're planted. And I dare say in a couple of weeks, this is how they'll be looking. Beautiful, beautiful green fields. Beautiful fields. Look at that. We're absolutely in the middle of nowhere here. We're in the middle of Isan, which is northeast Thailand. And it's as rural and as remote as you get. So this is now, if you remember the field earlier, that was a couple of hours ago in the previous video. And there's been 6 or 7 of them working at it for the past maybe hour and a half, 2 hours. And they've got the rest of this field planted. Remember earlier that was all just mud, wet mud. Well now, so you can see all the rice is planted in it. Amazing, good job. Something which is funny in Thailand, we're called, the Westerner is called a Phalang. I believe it comes from the word for the French, and it's now adopted into any Westerner of white skin. It's probably the best way of saying it. We're all known in general as Phalang. Some people say it as derogatory. It's not meant that way, it's just, that's the way it is. But they always want to make sure you're okay, make sure you're comfortable. And there's a few wee things which sort of happen. Now, back when I first started coming here many years ago, it used to annoy me, and I just thought, leave me alone. It did annoy me. One instance was, we were out with our family in a restaurant, and we sat down, and then her aunt got up and she walks about the restaurant with her hands in the air. I thought, what's happening here? I don't know, I thought she was trying to bless it or something. And then everybody up moved to a different table, because that table, the table she found, was more in line with the air conditioning units, and she was feeling the breeze. After about another 5 minutes, a table cleared, and she walked over there holding up their hands and moved us over to that table, because it was getting an even stronger breeze. You know, you have to put up with these wee things. You just have to, it's a quirk, you have to put up with it. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was putting a seatbelt on the car, and the seatbelt was sort of, it was caught up a bit, so I'd extended it out while I fixed it, and they put these wee stupid foam things on the seatbelt to stop it biting into your shoulder. And I was trying to fix it, and while I'm doing this, I'm holding the buckle out on my right hand. So her uncle's sitting in the driver's seat to my right, sees me holding the buckle out, and thinks that I want him to, to put my seatbelt on. So he takes the buckle and clicks it in. And now for the past 2 days, every time I get into the car, he reaches across. Once I get the buckle to here, he faffs about, grabs the buckle and clicks it in for me, right? Because he thought that's what I was aiming at. And again, you can't say, no, it's okay, that's offensive, you're going to offend them. So you just have to go along with it. We were getting the lift home last night, and obviously the uncle had told the person who's driving he'd like somebody to put a seatbelt on for him. So the same person done the same thing. I'm putting the seatbelt on, he grabs the buckle and clicks it in. What do? You put up with it. You smile, you say thank you, and you put up with it. Also, they think that foreigners always like to eat foreign fast food, McDonald's, KFC, that sort of junk food. That's what they think foreigners eat, because these companies, the fast food companies, aren't in the country that long, really, years, but not that long, and it's changing the whole Thai diet. But they think that's what we eat. That's the first port of call if they're bringing you food, and that's all they think you want to eat. Now, if you set a KFC down in front of the fat gent, the fat gent's going to go through it like a pack of hyenas, right? So they think this is brilliant, this is brilliant. So every time they come, or every time you're somewhere, or every time you're shopping, there's a bucket of KFC fired at you, right? And you can't not eat it because that's offensive. But again, the last thing you want is another bucket of KFC. You want some beautiful light fresh Thai salads and all this. You have to balance this, and you don't offend anybody. It's just good manners not to offend them, and that's one of the wee quirks. Yesterday again, sitting in the sort of the dining area, it's like an inside-outside area, and I moved one of the fans, one of the desk fans, just towards me for a bit of for a bit of a breeze. Somebody saw me do this. Within 30 to 40 seconds, there was 3 fans brought over and pointed at me. Another fan was then wired up with a new plug put on it, plugged in, to give me a 4th fan. So I was covered at all quadrants by fans. It's all in the goodness of their heart, and you just have to have a wee giggle yourself. This is what the crack is, this is the score. It's fantastic, you know, it's brilliant. The hospitality is second to none. It will get sometimes a wee bit overbearing. Smile, go along with it, you know, and that's it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You just smile, go along with it, and be appreciative, because you're made to feel so welcome, and they go out of their way so much for you, you know. It's fantastic. So that was yesterday lunchtime. We're there all day. We're there from 10 o'clock in the morning through to maybe 7 o'clock at night. Great fun. The kids thoroughly enjoyed themselves. Absolutely brilliant. Wee daughter 4, Anna, she's playing away with her wee Thai cousins and wee Thai friends, same sort of age, a bit older. You know, they didn't share the language, but you know, it doesn't stop you having fun. Last night then we went to a restaurant in Amnat Charoen, myself, my wife and a family friend. He was driving and staying last night, and the restaurant was called Ma Noi, which I think it either means Ma is mum, Noi is just a lady's name, Noi, so it's either like Mum Noi or Noi's mum restaurant. And it was a lot of the restaurants here, there's stacks of different types and variations in Thai food. You've got Eastern food, you've got then the southern Thai food, the southern curries, you've got the northwestern Thai foods, you've got the central plains. It's all different, but what we had last night was Chinese style, which goes throughout the whole country. So I'll drop in a wee video here. Good evening, the Fat Gent. What do you think of this shirt? This is a Zisan dancing shirt. So I've nipped out to a fantastic little Thai Isan restaurant, and I've ordered up a few different options. So whenever it comes, I'll get a couple of wee videos and some photographs of it. Looking forward to this, very hungry. So with a nice wee selection of food here. There's only 3 of us dining, so we didn't go crazy. There's only 3 of us. It's stir fried catfish with Thai peppers and green peppers, lovely. Stir fried chicken with mushrooms and cashew nuts and onions, lovely. Sweet and sour pork. Sweet and sour pork, lovely. Stir fried vegetables, probably like an oyster sauce. Looks like pork belly, lovely. And now I'm well on the way to demolishing this fried rice with prawns, absolutely superb. Right. And that, everything there came to 550 baht, £11, and it was beautiful. It was really nice. The chicken with the cashew nuts, I thought those black things were mushroom. I think they were dates, and it gave a really nice sweet note to that dish that I've never had before. Never had dates along with chicken and cashew nuts. Or it could have been the fruit of the cashew nut. I really don't know. Beautiful, beautiful dish. As for it, even then the chef, the rock star chef with his hat on, he's cooking up another table's food. And I said, is it okay to take a photograph? He said, yes, come. He wanted me into the kitchen beside him. I said, no, it's okay. I just stand here. So today, the plan was, we had open plans for tonight. I have a room booked in Ubon Ratchathani in the Sunni Grand Hotel. I've stayed there several times. That's where the airport is. So I thought for tomorrow we'll fly back to Bangkok tomorrow, and I thought it might be handy just to stay beside the airport. Right, that's us checked into the Sunni Grand bathroom, cracking big bathroom. Love the tiles with the LED thing shone down on them, very nice. Nice sink, good toilet, western toilet. Decent looking bath. A nice looking shower head, yeah. Okay, I've stayed in Sunni Grand a few times and it's always been fantastic. Rooms aren't expensive. We went for the family, we're only here for one night. I've had suites in it before, junior suites and all sorts. You can't fault it. Yeah, we've cut down, we left a lot of the luggage in Bangkok in the left luggage at Suan Napum. It's behind check-in desk Q. That's Q for Quebec. And I'd recommend that, say if you travel heavy and you're sort of doing wee trips here and there, leave your luggage. It's only 100 baht a day or something like that. And it's so handy. A night market and a concert. So that's the plans this evening. We'll nip down, get a bite to eat, maybe listen to a bit of music and just enjoy, see what the night unfolds. So this is Ubon Ratchathani. Quite a big place, always lots and lots and lots going on. We pass about 3 or 4 night markets just in the short drive through Ubon Ratchathani. You know, there's always plenty happening. some of the motorbikes here. There's a wee lane into the hotel from the main road, probably about 200 metres, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different traffic attendants showing you where to go. 8 people showing you where to go. Now that's fantastic, you know, keeps everything flowing, keeps everything moving. Now that's only the ones on the road. Every lane then in the car park, you'll see a man with a torch. He's keeping the traffic moving down the individual lanes. You know, they've got the workforce here at the wage level where they can afford that. You know, just keep on firing people at it until the problem goes away. That's the way they do things here. Who's to say they're right? Who's to say they're wrong? On the way from Amnat Charoen to Ubon Ratchathani, we made a wee detour through a town called Ratchathani, down to the riverside where there's a giant frog, a massive big toad. It's about 5 stories high, and also a very long golden dragon, serpent dragon. Worth seeing, not really worth going to, but if you're in the area, it's worth stopping past and having a look at it. There's a few wee quirky things about it. Worst, you know, you get a cup of coffee. Here we have people feeding the fish. It's a way of again giving tampon. I must say it's very, very good. Lots of fish. I think they're tilapia. Normally they're catfish, but I think this time they're tilapia. This reminds me of a scene from one of James Bond's. Just can't remember what one it was. It could have actually been the one whenever he was in Bangkok, the man with the golden gun. Don't know. It's impressive. These all represent Thai dancers in front of a royal barge, I think. Looks nice. We're down by the river here. Not too sure what river it is. You know, it could be the Mekong. I don't know. But we're getting a nice breeze off it, so if you're getting a bit of a wind noise, apologies, but it's just the way it is. So here's the farmers now with their drums. Then we've got white cows. Then we've got the main barge.